Interpol lah yang bagi kat kita lengkap senarai apa yang kehidupan yang ada. Kalau contohnya pelabuhan, kat pelabuhan mana, kontena yang mana, kapal yang mana, so dia berlabuh ke apa, bila. So itu maklumat yang komplit.
So kita akan buat rondaan, boleh kata setiap hari lah. Berkaitan dengan sedaya upaya dengan juga bersama dengan agensi, sedaya upaya untuk mengatasi isu ni dengan melakukan banyak perkara. Kita buat kerjasama dengan tentera, dengan pihak polis, kita buat post on the ground.
That will deter them from coming in and trying to poach our animals from the forest.
Selama ni kita cukup susah kita nak dakwa. Kita tak boleh nak dakwa kecuali orang tu ada memiliki, kita boleh dakwa. Tetapi dengan pilihan akta kita ni, kalau dia masuk dalam media sosial, kita boleh dakwa. Itu yang terbaik lah. Dengan adanya benda ni, maka akan mengurangkan orang jual beli dalam media sosial.
We need to change these laws and to make it in line with what is happening today, and to make sure that the deterrent for those who break the law, the punishment is equally severe, and they won't attempt to do it. So these laws are in place, are being there, and I think by 2020 we would see a lot of amendments taking place as far as the ministry is concerned. So my message to them is, we are coming, be prepared, and we have given orders what to do, and if you're caught, you will pay heavily for the crime that you have committed.
Stories in Asia.
A quicker, portable way of testing for COVID-19 in just 5 minutes.
To breaking news in the US and Europe.
US President-elect Joe Biden is set to formally introduce his top economic team.
With an eye on markets opening across the world.
Wall Street's major indices all closed the month with double-digit percentage gains.
It's the one bulletin that offers you a global perspective. World Tonight, daily, on CMA.
A second wave of COVID-19 in India has led many states to impose tougher new restrictions. The measures are necessary to slow infection, but experts warn they're only widening the country's long-standing inequality gap, with the poor being hit the hardest. The full report on your next Asia First.
Next on Japan Hour. Japan Hour, Saturday on CMA. Japan Hour is brought to you by Sumitomo Corporation and SMBC. An investigation into the unseen costs of the pandemic.
陸路嘅界全部都冇開啦，海上面走私喺過去1年係多咗好多。
it was decided that we would shut off the internet.
People obviously were not getting enough information about what was happening.
We expect that the number of people that exercise may increase around 20%.
A brand new season of Undercover Asia.
Malaysia is seeing what many are calling a new dawn. There's a sense of anticipation, a hope of change for the better. I'm here to make sense of these changes taking place and bring you stories from a country that's charting a new direction for its future.
American, Korean, and Taiwanese fried chicken. We love them all. But how do they stack up in terms of MSG, sodium, and fat levels?
Fat alone is like 20% of our normal intake.
I put my health on the line again to find out what exactly our love for fried chicken is doing to us. Talking Point, Sunday on CNA.
As I live my life, I am increasingly surprised by my strength, my determination, by the power of my beliefs. I find reward in the honesty of my endeavors, proud of what I have achieved, and convinced there is much more I can do.
This is Asia Tonight.
Good evening, I'm Steve Lai. Tonight's top stories. A patriotism drive in the classroom as Hong Kong promotes China's sweeping national security laws to children. New Delhi to become the latest Indian city to impose a curfew. India's second wave of infections is accelerating with 200,000 new cases in the last 24 hours. A US delegation in Taiwan hails relations as stronger than ever. President Tsai Ing-wen says both sides will work together to counter threats from China. China also expected to top the agenda as Japan's Prime Minister heads to Washington. Yoshihide Suga will be the first foreign leader to meet Joe Biden at the White House. And some Asian Americans in the US take up self-defense classes as hate crimes targeting them surged during the pandemic.
Motelli Edwards. Also tonight, Hong Kong to expand its COVID-19 vaccination drive to all residents aged over 16. And new vehicles that will allow Singapore to better manage major emergencies. I'm Elizabeth Nyo with your Asia Business Update. The world's largest contract chip maker lifts growth targets and warns of a persistent global shortage. Plus, luxury properties fuel a jump in Singapore's private home sales.
Hong Kong is pushing patriotism among the young in the classroom. It's marked its first National Security Education Day since the controversial law was imposed. A show of force by the police demonstrating anti-terrorism drills, and for the first time, officers ditched the traditional march, opting instead for the goose step used by China's People's Liberation Army. Classrooms were also a focus of the day's activities, as Ron Lim reports.
Speaking at the National Security Education Day opening ceremony, Chief Executive Carrie Lam highlighted that more should be done to increase Hong Kong's people awareness of national security.
動員全社會參與，切實提高香港市民嘅國家安全意識同埋守法意識，務求做到維護國安，人人有責。
Mrs. Lam added that the anti-government protests in 2019 highlighted a gap in national security which endangered the safety of all Chinese people, and that the introduction of the national security law as well as the electoral reform overhaul should stabilize the situation. Apart from the symposium with the theme Protect Our Homeland, various activities and exhibitions are being held citywide. Hong Kong's discipline forces, including the police force, customs and immigration fire services department, are holding open days at their training colleges, holding marching drills and exhibitions for the public. For the first time, Hong Kong police goose-stepped PLA style as the band played China's most patriotic song, Ode to the Motherland, rather than the traditional British-style foot drills. Hong Kong